Live from the Best Darn Diddly Studios, the entertainment capital of wherever you're listening to us from, it's the 50th podcast celebration show.
Send in the clowns, those daffy, laughy clowns. Send in those soulful and doleful schmaltz by the bowlful clowns. Send in the clowns.
They're already
You damn right they are. Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to the Best Darn Diddly Review Show. This is a weekly podcast for anyone who loves The Simpsons or ever has loved The Simpsons, hosted by two dudes that grew up on The Simpsons. My name is Miles, better known as Mr. Most Days Off, and today we're going to be taking a little break from our usual format to bring you a very special episode, but don't worry, we'll be back again with that next week with Brother from the Same Planet. But this week, we are celebrating. It is our 50th podcast, and we wanted to come together with the great Simpsons fan community that we have got to know and love through the last 49 episodes to celebrate together this achievement in Simpsons fandom. And joining me, as he has 49 times in the past, your co-host with the most, Richie the Whiz Kid. How are you today, Rich?
I'm excited. We have some great things we're going to get through in this episode. And 49 times going on 50 already. I guess just when you have to listen to Miles talk for so long, it starts bleeding together pretty quickly. So, as is tradition, I will throw it back to you so you can keep talking like I know you want to. The man, the myth, the mega episode.
Woo-hoo!
It is Miles.
Hey, I love the sound of my own voice, so for what that's worth, I'm fine with what you had to say. But we're not here to talk about me. No. The number one reason we are here today is simply to say thank you so much for listening to us on a weekly basis talk about The Simpsons. As I mentioned in the opening, our favorite part, I think I speak for both of us when I say our absolute favorite part of this show, has been the interaction that we've gotten to have with some awesome Simpsons fans, some people that we otherwise may not have connected with online. And it has just been an absolute treat to both of us, very fulfilling part of our lives to be able to connect with so many great and funny people. So again, from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you so much to every single listener that we have ever had, especially if you're listening to us right now.
You know, we don't always agree on the episodes, Miles, but we're definitely going to agree right here. This is such a fun experience, and I love getting to interact with people, especially when they're talking about how much they love us, of course, because we're both egomaniacs at heart, but just getting to interact with people about a show that I've loved my entire life, it means something, and it's overwhelming the amount of love that we've received while doing this show. We talked about it from the first season that we had to be prepared for negative feedback because that just happens when
because it's the internet.
Because it's the internet, yes, because the internet and Childish Gambino language. But it's been the exact opposite. And not to say it's not going to happen in the future, but I feel like we have such a strong following of listeners that tune in and chime in even on Twitter and talk with us that it feels really good. Like, and it's not something where I would think us doing this would make you feel like being such a good person, but it feels so awesome when you get to interact and talk with people again, especially when we're talking about The Simpsons. So thank you to everybody for listening to us. Especially thank you to the people that sent in some clips for us today. But just overall, please continue to listen. Please continue to give us feedback. And, you know, you don't always have to agree with us, but we appreciate the fact that you tune in each and every week.
Yeah, it's super awesome. We absolutely love the community that is growing with this show. When we first started this, I mean, show has been going on almost 30 years. We knew we loved The Simpsons, and we knew there was a lot of people out there that also love The Simpsons, but we weren't sure if people were going to connect to The Simpsons in podcast form, and we're so thrilled to find so many of you that have sent in kind thoughts and kind words and just tweeting with us and talking, sending Simpsons memes at each other is such a good way to fill your life. I'm telling you, it's a very fulfilling lifestyle, and I love it so much, and we could not have this without you. On that note, let's go ahead and hear from one of our good Twitter friends and longtime Best Darn Diddly listeners, at Chris Manley 2013 on Twitter. He is Chris Manley.
What's going on, guys? My name is Chris Manley. I've been listening to Best Darn Diddly since season 2. And I think so far my favourite episodes that you guys have reviewed have been either Flaming Moe's or Stop Raving Dad with Michael Jackson in, even though that wasn't his real name on the show, but I digress. Anyway, so yeah, that ties into my favourite episodes so far with them two. And I know you got another one coming up, You Only Move Twice, with Hank Scorpio voiced by Albert Brooks. And I'm upset they didn't bring them back. But anyway, I just wanted to say congratulations, guys, on reaching 50 episodes. I think that's awesome. And again, I just wanted to say a big thank you to Miles, Mr. Most Days Off, and Richie the Whiz Kid for everything you guys have done. And I just wanted to say I hope Best Darn Diddly continues all the way up until season 30 of The Simpsons. So yeah, thank you very much, guys, and congratulations once again, and peace out.
That was really awesome, Chris. I really appreciate everything you said there. Like, when I heard you say Richie the Whiz Kid, that tugged at my heartstrings, man. Like, thank you so much for the kind words. And I don't care about Miles. I'm just happy that you gave me a good thing there. And I'm definitely excited for the Hank Scorpio episode, too. I think everybody is. Especially when Homer gets to own a football team, finally.
Aw, the Denver Broncos.
Which I think they won the Super Bowl the year after that episode aired. And they won back-to-back. So it's not the worst place to be.
Yeah, then Chris, seriously, thank you so much. We really appreciate you listening all the way back from season 2. He's OG, ladies and gentlemen. And if you can't tell from the accent, he's clearly from the South. No, Chris is a great guy on Twitter. He's at Chris Manley 2013, all the way from across the pond from us over there in Liverpool. Not only does this guy have a Simpsons meme for every situation, if you are a wrestling fan, this is a cat you want to be following. He talks about it all from the indies all the way up to the big time with WWE and New Japan Pro. Chris and I don't always see eye to eye when it comes to wrestling, yet we have civil conversations on Twitter, which is almost non-existent in the wrestling world sometimes. So big shout out to at Chris Manley 2013. Thank you for listening, and we too hope that we'll be here all the way through season 30, and we hope you'll be along with us the entire way.
Now enough wrestling talk.
Chris mentioned the episode Flaming Moe's, which was also Richie and I's one of our favorite reviews that we've done so far. Another listener that we'd like to shout out real quick, both at Hi, I'm Troy McClure, so clearly not a Simpsons fan, and her husband, FYOCCA123. They're both very awesome people who love The Simpsons. And Hi, I'm Troy McClure also told us on Twitter that her favorite of our reviews so far has also been the Flaming Moe's. So maybe there is something to doing that one as a drunk episode, Rich. Maybe we should try that more often.
I'm down for that. I'm just happy that Mrs. Troy McClure helped us have some interactions with TJ Miller here recently.
Oh, that made our morning. We're recording this on the day that we had some retweets by TJ Miller with Hi, I'm Troy McClure about the upcoming Emoji movie, which, as she said, judge us if you will. We're seeing it.
Well, now we fucking have to, because you're going to have to live tweet it with just emojis only the whole time.
I am.
Because TJ Miller dared you to do it.
Hey, when TJ Miller dares you to live tweet his movie with nothing but emoticons, you fucking live tweet his movie with nothing but emoticons. So we'll see each other on Friday for that experience.
You sit at the very top on the top row, and I'm going to sit like in the middle so that I have to see your screen the whole time.
You're just going to wear a shirt that says, I'm not with this fucking asshole?
I'm going to go incognito.
Too bad we go to the movies every week and everyone who works there knows us together. We also want to give a big shout out to another listener, Eric Jones. You can find him on Twitter as well. He's at Deacon05OC. Eric talks a lot about The Simpsons on Twitter, and he's also does things like movie reviews. Most recently on his website, he wrote a review of the newest Wonder Woman movie with Gal Gadot.
Well, that's really awesome. Props for getting out there and writing articles. Anytime anyone's going to write anything about Gal Gadot, I will definitely read it.
I hope there's pictures, personally.
Well, especially with that movie. I'm not a big DC movie fan, but Wonder Woman was awesome.
Oh, Wonder Woman fucking killed it, dude. That was a great DC flick, and I hope that it is going to be a turning point in the DCU.
Did you see the new trailer for Justice League that premiered a few days ago? Because it looks pretty good.
I'm excited, man. I really am. I'm most excited for Aquaman, believe it or not. I know he's always like the lame hero, but I've always really had a thing for Aquaman. I think his powers is really cool. I've always liked the idea of like being able to swim underwater and hold your breath. Or swim underwater and not have to hold your breath.
No, the Justice League preview looked really, really cool. Gal Gadot looked awesome as she has the entire time she's been Wonder Woman. But I'm not going to lie, the new trailer for Thor Ragnarok.
Oh, hell yeah.
Way
that looks
better.
Super cool, dude. But I mean, that Marvel movies have been killing it for a while.
Thor's gone way up on my list now as the movie I want to see this year.
No, it looks really, really good. But the thing is, man, all the Marvel movies have been really good. So it's kind of nice to see a change of pace with Wonder Woman. Being that she is a DC property. But that's enough about superheroes. If you want to read more about Wonder Woman, like I said, check out at Deacon050C. And let's go ahead and hear real quick from the man himself, Eric Jones.
Hey, Miles and Richie. Eric Jones here. Just wishing you guys congratulations on reaching 50 episodes of the Best Darn Diddly Review Show. It's been great listening to you guys. I love The Simpsons and just so eager to hear you guys take on each episode every week. Keep up the good work. And, oh yeah, I'll still be down for Mr. Most Days Off for President. Thanks, guys. Have a great time.
Eric, I love all of our listeners, but you, sir, are officially my favorite.
Eric, I used to love all of our listeners, but I think you just made my list.
Hey, you know what? If nothing else, our country has proven that if our current president can do it, sure as hell Mr. Most Days Off can do it. Come on. Again, we're just going on the no bullshit principle here, Richie. If it doesn't make sense, then we're no longer doing it. So that whole you having to get a prescription every month for the fucking drug you require to live, you're not going to be putting any more money in that doctor's hand. You're going to get a lifetime prescription to your insulin, sir. Tell me you're not going to support that on my presidential
Mr. Most
campaign.
Days Off for President,
Woo!
Immediately.
Yeah.
Endorsed by the Whiz Kid.
Absolutely, yeah. We're gonna take this thing all the way to the top. Thank you for reinvigorating that spark in this campaign, Eric. You are the grassroots nation that we needed. From here on out, we're making our way 2020. We're gonna be in the White House.
You can be our Sean Spicer, except, do a good job and keep your job.
Oh my goodness. I honestly, I can't even. I know that just makes me sound like a 20-year-old chick in a Starbucks, but I cannot even.
But for real, Eric, thank you so much for sending that in. As what we said before, it's awesome hearing from you guys, and thanks for filling Miles' head bigger
Yes.
than it already is.
I am now stuck in my den. I'm not going to be able to get out of this house, but it's fine. I really appreciate it. Eric, you are the man, sir. Thank you so much. Everybody, right now, if you're listening, go on Twitter. Go to @Deacon050C. Check out all of Eric's good works that he's got and interact with him because he's an awesome person, and we are so grateful to have him as one of our Best Darn Diddly listeners.
Another Best Darn Diddly listener that we are more than proud to have on the show today. I am thrilled with this. We are getting a song from the show being sung in a very beautiful way. I'm extremely proud of this, even though I had nothing to do with it. But this is @EmmieBead on Twitter.
That's right, and that's the same for her YouTube channel, which everybody, do yourself a favor and go look for Emmy Bead on YouTube right now. She's only got a few songs out now, but she's going to be adding more, and my god, her voice is so amazing. You know what? Instead of me telling you about it, let's just hear from her right now.
In front of her tavern, flat on his face, a bruised hound named Bernie's pleading his case. Buy me a beer, 2 bucks a glass. Come on, help me, I'm freezing my ass. Buy me brandy, a snifter of wine. Who am I kidding? I drink turpentine. Move it, ya drunk, or I blast your rear end. I found 2 bucks, then come in, my friend. And so let us leave on this heartwarming scene. Can I be a booze hound? Not till you're 15.
Wow. Just wow. That song is great. And you know what? It really, really makes me want to be a booze hound. Emmy, thank you so much. That was absolutely beautiful.
Emmy, you have an amazing voice. You are such a talented singer. I hope that you have everyone in the world following you on YouTube because your voice needs to be heard. And goddamn, this podcast doesn't deserve something so beautiful. And we so appreciate you recording that for us. That was absolutely amazing. And I would argue the most beautiful way that song may have ever been sung.
My thing was, like, as she was singing it, I could see the little images from the show being played in my head, especially when Mo and Barney are talking outside the bar. But, like, hearing her voice on top of that was, like, oddly beautiful in a way, if that makes sense.
It really is. It's. I know exactly what you mean, too. So again, that is Emmy Bead on YouTube. You can also follow her on Twitter, where she not only posts her music, but also talks about The Simpsons. Who would have guessed it? Again, that is at Emmy Bead. That is EMMIEBEAD. Truly awesome, and we're so grateful for all of our listeners, those of you who sent in a clip, and a few of you that we also just wanted to give a quick shout out to. At Pinot You Didn't on Twitter, great guy. At BRC14, at Metal247, at The Party 420, that chick's crazy, but I love her. At CWHAPD, that stands for Can We Have a Pool Dad? New to Twitter, we've got at Arthouse Homer, at Wendy Loves India, at Soul_Prophet, and last but not least, at Tweeting Raccoon, the guitar goddess herself. We appreciate each and every one of you listening in and interacting with us online, and everybody I just named, go and follow them right now, and you will have some great conversations about The Simpsons.
To be fair, they're all a little bit crazy.
You've got to be a little bit off your rocker to tune into our show each week, I think it's safe to say.
A little bit? Don't mind if I do. Ah!
And if our listeners are crazy, think about the guests that we've had on the show. We've had some great ones. Some of them just our friends, some of them podcast hosts that have become friends. And we even had a Simpsons writer on the show once, Michael Price. Shout out to him.
Emmy Award-winning Simpsons
Emmy
writer.
Award-winning Michael Price. And shout out to his show, F is for Family, which has just got renewed for a 3rd season. So happy for him.
Yeah.
Can't wait to have him back on Best Darn Diddly around the time that airs.
Yeah, congratulations to Michael Price and the writers for season 2, because it was amazing.
Yeah, dude, season 2, with all due respect to the first season, which I love, season 2 just blew the roof off of that show. It got so good, especially towards the end. Some of the storylines when they were wrapping up, I was like on the edge of my seat through the end of that season.
They found a very good home on Netflix that I think helped let those stories go the way they did.
Absolutely. Cannot wait to see where they get to in season 3. Just saw Michael Price actually tweeted out a picture from their first table read for season 3 just a few days ago. So it is well on its way. Hopefully we'll have that on Netflix sometime soon.
Woohoo! Like you said, Miles, we've had a lot of really fun guests on our show over the last year. But I want to point out one of our new close personal friend podcasters, Mr. Toby from the Secret Transmissions podcast, which you can also follow on Twitter at Secret Transpod, which is available on the Rainbow Radio Network. So good job getting on that network there, Toby. We're really proud of you.
Way to get the Secret Transpod on the Rainbow Radio Network. That's awesome, man.
His show actually tries to go through and look at everything involved in conspiracy theories and individual cases. So if you've never listened to it, give him a listen. Follow him on Twitter. Congratulations to Toby, who just hit 50,000 downloads recently.
Yeah,
I won't say
big
how many
ups.
downloads we've had because we've been on, a couple different networks. So I assume we've had like 100,000. Toby, it's good that you finally hit 50,000. Way to catch up, bud.
Wow. Dude, the Secret Transmission podcast is absolutely wonderful. In addition to conspiracies, they basically try to just explain the unexplainable, be it cryptids or cryptozoology, conspiracy theories like Richie mentioned, ghosts, and everything supernatural. It's a wonderful podcast with a great group of hosts. Shout out to Madame Von Doom as well. Whoop, whoop. And I also just want to say, Richie alluded to it, but the next few guests that we're going to hear from, they aren't just our podcast friends. They are our podcast family, and we mean that, guys. We really do. So let's go ahead and hear from one of our family members right now, Toby from the Secret Transmission podcast.
Hello, this is Toby from the Secret Transmission podcast. You may remember me from such shows as Season 3, Episode 13, Radio Bart, and Episode 14, Lisa the Greek. The Best Darn Diddly hosts were kind enough to allow me to come on and relive why I love The Simpsons so much, which that's probably the best episode, so everyone should go back and listen to it if you haven't. But that's not what I'm here to talk about today. I would like to send a congratulations to the Best Darn Diddly review show for reaching 50 episodes, half of 100, 25 times 2. 50 episodes is a huge milestone. It's no 600 plus episodes like the actual running Simpsons, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I think we all know what the real shame is in this. Y'all done 50 episodes, and I've only been a part of one. But really, guys, I'm proud of y'all's show. It's growing. Y'all have y'all's own feed now, and there couldn't be two better hosts to host the Best Darn Diddly show ever. So for the next 50 episodes, I hope you guys continue to put out a quality show, and I hope Miles keeps putting in his little wrestling references. I enjoy those. Richie may not get them, but I like them. Anyways, guys, congratulations on 50 episodes. Here's to 50 more. I owe you a duff at Moe's Tavern.
Well, Toby, if the tab's on you, I would love to have a couple beers with you, a couple duffs or doofs.
I'll have a duff. You have one too.
You pay for two. But we would love to have you pay for our bar tab at Moe's. I don't know if I can do it with you anymore, man. You only want us to have 50 more good shows? I mean, what's up with that, Toby? But no, in all seriousness, thank you so much for the kind words, buddy. You know we love you, and I hope we both have much more success with our shows.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. We're gonna make this show funky like a monkey for at least another 50 and counting, because Simpsons has like 600 plus at this point, and we hope you're along for the ride with us, along with the great success you're having over at the Secret Transmission podcast. Woo!
I don't understand. Was that some kind of like wrestling terminology or inside joke I don't get? Because it seemed kind of soft to me.
How do you spell that?
I spell it S-O-F-T, but wrestling fans spell it some weird way that I don't understand.
S-A-W-F-T. Soft?
Man, the way that you guys spell is just like the way Toby does math.
Oh, that's fucked up. Oh, we love you, Toby. Thank you so much for the kind words. Sorry, Richie's such an asshole.
We'll see you on Friday the 13th, buddy.
We've also got another couple of great friends of ours, all the way from the Great White North, formerly part of our podcast family, but now they're vloggers, now officially on YouTube. You can find them at The Bells Get Fit. Let's hear from JD and Christina Bell.
Greetings, Springfielders and Shelbyvillians. It's JD Bell.
And I'm Christina Bell.
And we would just like to wish a very happy 50th episode to Richie the Whiz Kid and that other guy who hosts the show sometimes. Really, really happy that we were part of one episode, anywho, and look forward to being back. Our favorite episode, though, has to coincide with probably my favorite episode ever, Mr. Plow.
Mr. Plow. Mr. Plow.
There you go. You got some singing. So, once again, to Mr. Most Days Off and Richie the Whiz Kid, happy 50th show anniversary, I think.
Yay! Happy 50th, guys.
Well, thank you very much, JD and Christina. I think I speak for myself and that other guy that hosts the show sometimes when I say we appreciate everything you guys have done and we appreciate you sending that in with us. We always like to hear other people pat us on the back for us because we're super lazy.
It's the American way. Yeah, thanks so much, guys. Love you both, and we appreciate that. Definitely go and check out their YouTube channel, The Bells Get Fit. It will motivate you to either do one of two things: get your ass to the gym, or just start crying into your Doritos like I do.
And Christina, that name again is Mr. Plow.
That's Klondike 53226.
Woohoo!
And sticking with our Canadian theme, we've got another couple of guys and a gal that we are quite fond of over here at Best Darn Diddly. So fond of, in fact, that the Whiz Kid did something that I never thought he would do. He actually let one of these guys take the Lyle Landley role in the Monorail episode we just did a couple episodes back when we reviewed Marge vs. the Monorail. And I can't tell you how much respect that means coming from my friend Richie the Whiz Kid.
Well, here's the thing, Miles. It did hurt a little bit at first. I've been looking forward to that role for a long time, but we have so much damn fun with these people that it's hard not to get involved with just the zany craziness that happens all along. And I think it makes for a greater show. So we're all friends here. But more than just friends, I'm going to say, Derailers, you're my buddies, guys.
Let's hear from them now, the Derailers.
They fight and bite. They fight and fight and bite. Bite, 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 bite. The Itchy and Scratchy Show. They fight and bite.
And bark.
They fight and fight and bite.
And bark.
Fight, fight, fight.
Woof, woof, woof.
The Itchy and Scratchy and Poochie Show!
It's time to drop the remix!
Okay, we go. Yeah. They fight and bite. They fight and fight and bite. Bite, fight, fight. Bite, bite, bite. It's the itchy, itchy and scratchy. Itchy and scratchy. Show.
What up? Foghorns, motherfuckers!
Derailers, bitch.
Up in the shizzy!
Oh my god, I love those guys so much. Seriously, I thank you for that. That is absolutely amazing. Please do yourself a favor. Go check out The Derailers. They're now on iTunes and Stitcher and all of the podcast places. You can find them. The Derailers. All three of them are absolutely lovely people. I just got a chance to go on their show myself. The whole point of the show is you pick a topic. I picked the movie Evil Bong. We started there, but we damn sure didn't end there, and it was a hell of a good time.
I'm pretty sure that's about the filthiest mouth you'll ever hear on a Canadian, too, just for the record. But no, you guys already know this. It's becoming a theme of this episode, but that's the point, because there's a lot of love in the room today. But we absolutely adore you guys. We can't wait for you to be back. Just not for Limit of Troy. Get that out of your head, Ripken.
They have somehow cherry-picked all of the great episodes, but we are going to have to put a stop to that at some point, guys. You can't have them all.
We're just going to have to do a better job than Homer does at putting his foot down. But with that being said, I know I've been in talks with you guys. I can't wait to come on your show so I can literally derail the conversation.
Yeah, that's going to be, you're going to have such a fun time. And if you enjoyed the Itchy and Scratchy songs you just got to hear, and I know you did, stick around at the very end of this podcast for a little derailer bonus track.
What?
We have another very special guest to talk about. Someone that I was so thrilled to get on the show, not only once, but we actually got him on twice. And through discussing The Simpsons and Nickelodeon and books and movies that we all share interest in, we're actually very proud to now consider this guy a true friend And that is author of Slime, the oral history of the golden age of Nickelodeon, and the director of the upcoming film On Your Mark, Matthew Klickstein.
Hey, Miles and Richie and everybody at Best Darn Diddly and all the fans and all the Simpsons fans out there. This is Matthew Klickstein here, author of Slimed, an oral history of Nickelodeon's golden age, the forthcoming Mark Summers documentary On Your Mark, and also a new book about the Simpsons that'll be coming out through HarperCollins in a little over a year. Just wanted to thank Miles and Richie for everything that they've been doing with the podcast and having me on twice. It's always a lot of fun. And I know that my wife, Becky, enjoys it when I'm on with you guys. She's always in the room as well, cracking up and trying to take a nap, unsuccessfully, of course. And that's probably one of my favorite times with the show is just watching her laugh as we're talking and having such a good time that she can't stay asleep. But anyway, I'm really appreciative of what you guys are doing. I think it's a great idea. The Simpsons are obviously such an important cultural touchstone, something that we all share, no matter how old you are, or where you come from, or who you are as a person. Everyone knows The Simpsons. I can't imagine anyone not loving The Simpsons. And just talking with people as passionate about it as you, and knowing that there are people out there listening, it's really great to know. So thanks again. And I'm going to say that my favorite Simpsons line of all time is little kid Flanders spilling over the ink blot. And I'm going to end this by saying, gosh, I've gone a little too long. Whoops-a-doodle.
Thank you so much. It's very rare that you have somebody that can speak as eloquently as Matthew always does on the show. And that little summation of what he just said, I feel, and I'm pretty sure I can speak for you on this, Miles, perfectly sums up what we've been trying to do here for the last year, and that we will continue to do so. And just the general love and fanfare for The Simpsons throughout the entire series, which hopefully we'll get through. But it's just, I've never heard like our method and our goal put out there so eloquently. Like I really like the way you sum that up. But again, thank you for being on the show twice, Matthew. We would love to have you back 20,000 more times.
Absolutely, brother. It's such an honor to have you. It's actually a really kind of a cool thing for me personally, because how I got to know Matthew is I actually read his book, Slime, the oral history of the golden age of Nickelodeon, and I absolutely loved it. I'm a big time fan of the old school Nickelodeon. And I reached out and we connected on Twitter, and next thing you know, he's on the show. We're talking about The Simpsons. We find out we have so much in common, and I truly am happy to be able to consider Matthew a friend. Thank you so much for sending us that clip. We really appreciate it, and we wish you the best of luck with that new book. I'm sure we'll be very excited to help you promote that whenever you are ready to do so. I also want to touch a little bit on what Matthew is speaking on about goals, and the goals of this show, the vision of this show. When we sat down to make this show, we were just fans talking about The Simpsons, but as this show has grown, and you've helped us grow by joining our community and interacting with us and just showing your fandom of The Simpsons so that we can all mark out together. There's another one for you, Toby. But now what we see is we want to make the Best Darn Diddly review show, the Best Darn Diddly Simpsons podcast in the world, and we want all of you to be a part of that with us. We want to continue to build this community to be a tower of power too sweet to be sour.
Nice.
Of Simpsons fans coming together and just showing their love for this epic, epic show. Thank you again for all of you that have tuned in. And please, if you like this show and you know anybody else who might, let them know about us. Send them to bestdarndiddly.com and help us grow this community together.
If I can take a quick second here, Miles, I just want to say to you, being my best friend, we jab and poke fun at each other all the time on the show because that's just who we are and that's who we're always going to be. But I just want to say...
No, I truly hate you.
I know you do. But what am I? Wait, what? But I just want to say, just in general, it's, you know this, and I've put it out there a little bit on the show that it's been rough for me for the last 6 months. There's been tough times, and I just want to say, brother to brother, I love you, man, and thank you for, on some days where maybe I wasn't feeling it more so than others, but I needed to do things and get up and be a part of life. Thank you so much for keeping on me through this whole process. And I'm not saying you do that to me every week. I'm just saying, you know what I'm speaking of. This sounds worse than I'm trying to make it sound. But I love you, man. And for all those that are listening right now, Miles busts his ass in every regard, editing, getting guests, doing everything. Miles is a god on this, so he deserves so much more credit than he gets. So I just want all the listeners out there to know that you are the man to me, man. Like, and again, I love you.
Well, thank you, brother. You are my brother, no doubt about it. I love you too, and quite frankly, I would not want to do this show and to put in the effort I put in without you. So I'm glad that we get to go on this journey together. I truly feel, and I've said before, I'm not a believer in supernatural powers or gods or anything like that, but I truly feel like this is a calling for us, and that this has brought us together and given us both a motivation that has been lacking in our lives, and I'm grateful for you, and again, grateful to all of our listeners and great guests for coming together and helping us fulfill our destiny.
So you're saying you feel the call of the Simpsons?
I do. I feel the call of the Simpsons. Couldn't have said that any better.
And thank you to everyone around the world. We're getting worldwide here all of a sudden.
We are. I'm seeing we've got some popping up, some downloads popping up in China and the UK and Russia and Nigeria. I really hope you're a wealthy prince who wants to send us some money.
Not the other way around.
We've talked so much about family and love today, and we need to show some love to another family, specifically #Podern Family. A group of podcasters that have been so good to us, and we hope that we can continue to be good to you as well. A great support group for anybody who podcasts. I highly recommend you use that #Podern Family. Retweet those that use it, and others will retweet you in return. I've discovered so many great podcasts that I like to listen to using the Podern Family hashtag, and it just means a lot to us that the Podern Family has helped us grow. We've gotten a lot of great guests from Podern Family. We already spoke with Toby from Secret Transmission Podcast and JD and Christina, formerly of the K vs. B show.
Yes, I'd also like to extend my thanks to the Podern Family community as well. We were actually voted the Podern Family Podcast of the Week a few weeks back, and that was a great honor where we got a little more feature from that, and we actually got to meet a lot of other great podcasters that we're now becoming friends with as well. So it's a great community, and it's a good way to get your show out there. And even if you're not Podcast of the Week, you get so much more interaction and notification and just friendliness in general.
It's such a supportive group, and big shout out to our competition and great group of guys that we really had a lot of fun throwing jabs and talking some playful shit throughout the week and just really supporting each other at the end of the day. We want to shout out Unseriously Serious Podcast. We also want to give a big shout out to the Monster Closet and really close competition, the Writer's Bone Podcast. And I'm going to butcher your name, brother. I'm sorry, but we are going to be actually looking forward to having Sean Tuohi? Sorry, I don't know how I say it, but regardless, we're really excited to have you on in the future. We'll be scheduling that as soon as possible to have you on the show. But shout out to all of our Podern family. Keep supporting us. We'll keep supporting you. And once again, the theme of this show is clearly love, but we just love being a part of such a great community.
But you know what all this love and success can't buy, Miles?
What's that, Rich?
A new car.
Well, it could if everybody listening sent us some money.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Everyone send us all of your monies. All your monies are belong to Sloth.
Rich, let's just say in a hypothetical situation that all of our great listeners just decided they wanted to write a fat check and send it to you directly. What car would you buy?
The Homer, of course.
Really?
Were you not expecting that?
Well, I like the Homer, but there's a ride I could think of that would literally drive over the Homer.
Can you name the truck with four-wheel drive that smells like a steak and seats 35 Canyonero? Canyonero. It's 12 yards long and 2 lanes wide, 65 tons of American pride. Canyonero. Canyonero. Top of the line in utilities sports, unexplained fires are a matter for the courts. Oh, Canyonero! She blinds everybody with her super high beam. She's a squirrel squashing, deer smacking, driving machine. Canyonero! Canyonero! Yeah! Drive, Canyonero! Whoa, Canyonero!
So I don't understand something here, Miles, because I feel like we just played the actual sound file of the episode with a really badass guitar intro into it, because that was freaking amazing. That was spot on. That was all actually Chris?
Yeah, dude, that was another great friend of mine, Chris Novembrino, Dr. Nove if you're nasty. You can find him at Chris Novembrino. Dude, honestly, one of the most talented musicians I know. He can pick up a guitar, listen to anything, and play it back way cooler than the version he was listening to. He does a bunch of stuff from video game music. Recently, he did a lot of the Sonic the Hedgehog and Mega Man sounds, which are a lot of fun. And you can actually look that up yourself. Check out his music. You can find that at soundcloud.com/CMN News for all of his awesome music. In addition to being a talented musician, Chris is also an awesome podcast host. He hosts Don't Worry About the Government, a political podcast that's just a lot of fun. Great group of guys working on that, making politics as fun as they can be. If you're into politics, you will enjoy this show, so check that out at don'tworry.tv. Also, Chris and I co-host Lucha of the Hidden Temple, a Lucha Underground review each and every week on voicesofwrestling.com.
And thank you very much again, Chris. That was a badass song, and he's got a great singing voice too. Like, that was just incredible, man.
Dude, and he does so much. I mean, he did every part in that song. It wasn't just the guitar, it wasn't just the bass, it was everything. He sang it, he rocked that out is what he did. Coolest rendition of Canyonero on the planet. It now exists right here on the Best Darn Diddly Review Show, and that's all thanks to you, Chris Novembrino. We really appreciate it, buddy. Follow him on Twitter right now at Chris Novembrino.
Canyonero.
You ruined his beautiful work.
That's always my plan.
God, I hope that's the last of the singing we're going to be getting from you today, Richie.
I promise I will never sing again.
All right, well, I think that's going to do it for the Best Darn Diddly 50th podcast celebration show. Rich, is there anything else you want to add before we get out of here?
I would like to sing again. I have created an original song to one-up everyone else we had send in clips for this occasion. And I'm not doing it out of spite for anybody. I love each and every one of you, but I feel like the show needs a good bang at the end of it to really sell home the point that we are the best, the darndest, and the diddliest.
What do you got for us?
I may need a little help from you on this, Miles, so you know what to do. There are many characters that appear on this show. It would be quite difficult to put them in a row and name them one by one. Why, that's a lot to know. But our song is better than yours, so go ahead and say do. There's Bart, Lisa, Maggie, Marge, Homer, Grandpa, Snowball too, and Santa's little helper who is Jebediah Springfield Cool. Laura and Ruth Powers, Ned, Maud, Rod and Todd, Itchy, Scratchy, Poochie, and don't forget the Devil and God. And in the school there's Skinner, Mrs. K, Lunch Lady Doris, Dolphin Kearney, Coach Crab, Miss Hoover, Jimbo, Mr. Largo, and Groundskeeper Willie, Miss Phipps, Ooter, Database, Wendell, Louis, Sherry, Terry, Millhouse, Nelson,
Ha ha!
Martin, Ralph, who won't fail English, it's impossible, and also Otto and Chalmers, who is a Super Nintendo. It's so hard to fit so many characters into a song. I don't know if my lungs can last this long.
That's pretty impressive, Whiz Kid, but it's a little slow, don't you think?
Really? Okay. Well, don't forget Kang, Kodos, the Sea Captain, Lou, Eddie, Sideshow Mel, Cookie, Quan, Gabble, Sam, and Bill and Marty from KBBL, Carl, Lenny, Barney, Kirk, Snake, and Mayor Quimby, Agnes, Lou, and Patty, Selma, and the Crazy Cat Lady. Also Dr. Hibbert, Disco Stew, Dr. Nick, who never quite knows the cure, which was a movie role we remember played by
Troy McClure,
Charlie Ham, Doug, Gary, Larry, and the veterinarian, Lucia, Sweet, Akira, Mr. Teeny, Blinky, and Duffman. How many more names do I have to sing? This feels like I'm putting too much effort into this one thing.
You know, Rich, you're representing Best Darn Diddley, and I'm just not feeling the diddly.
Jacques, Arnie Pie, Roger Myers Jr., Leopold the Leprechaun and the Rich Texan, Princess Cashmere, Jasper, Frankie the Squealer, Johnny Titless, Fallout Boy, and Radioactive Man, Manjula, Judge Constance Harm, Louie, Sanjay, Jub, and Herman, and don't forget the Larla, the Capital City Goofball, and of course Bumblebee Men.
Olay!
The Reverend and Helen Lovejoy, Jessica Lurleen, Gerald the Baby, and Cecil, Cletus Plopper, Lionel Hutz, Boobarella, and Lindsay Nagel, Frank Grimes, Bleeding Gums, Artie Ziff, and Dr. Marvin Monroe, Mona Smithers Burns.
Excellent.
Fat Tony and Rainier Wolfcastle.
Mendoza!
Oh, we are finally getting close to the bitter end. So now I will use a cheap trick, and the rules I will bend. But don't worry, this isn't something that will be a trend. Marge's dad and mom, Bouvier, Jacqueline.
Come on, man. They call you the Whiz Kid. Show me what you really got.
Krusty, Sideshow Bob, Bernice, Bert, Comic Book Guy, Dredrick, Tatum, the Happy Little Elves, Louie, Miss Month, Sarah, and Chief Wiggum, the Yes Guy, Blue-Haired Lawyer, Lois, Penny Candy, and Jeremy, the Network Exec, Miss Albright, Herb Powell, Captain Lance Murdoch, Mo, and the Space Mutants, Martha Quimby, Tattoo Annie, Jimmy the Scumbag, Jeremy Friedman, Ken Brockman, Jimmy the Snitch, Judge Roy Snyder, and Pooh.
Please come again.
That is all the characters that can fit into this tune. I hope you will listen to it again real soon, and enjoy the Best Darn Diddly review show if you can. Did you think we'd forget Ralph Mellish, a.k.a. Hans Moleman?
That was awesome, Rich. Great job, Whiz Kid. That is going to do it for the Best Darn Diddly 50th podcast celebration show. You can follow us on Twitter at Best Darn Diddly. I'm at Mr. Most Days Off.
I'm at TheWiz_Kid23.
We forgot something very important to thank, something that we literally could not do this show without, and that is the Simpsons themselves. This excellent show that has provided us the opportunity and the vessel to go on this podcast journey with you. And once again, from the bottom of our hearts, to all of the listeners, thank you so much. And to all of our great guests, we appreciate you being a part of our show. Quick shout out to Dr. Andrew Briseno, my wife Emily, aka Red's Riot, friend of the show Aaron Edwards, and Dr. Carl Zolke.
And thank you to all the writers of The Simpsons, and darn you all for making so many characters that I had to write down.
The Whiz Kid and I will be back again in our regular format next week to review Brother from the Same Planet.
Are you ready for some peppy?
Until next time, be cromulent to each other.
They hug and kiss and hug and hug and kiss. Hug, 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 kiss, kiss, kiss. The Itchy and Scratchy Show. Keep watching Best Darn Diddly.
And also listen to trailers on YouTube and fucking iTunes. Whoop, whoop, whoop.